Hey guys, welcome back. I have another review and this is one that I'm super excited about. I have the new CIrque Colors Vice 2022 collection. I love their Vice collections and I think I am going to start reviewing them every year. I just love their neons. They totally know how to do neons. Their formulas are always awesome and they have a new wider brush now, which is really nice. And they just go on so nicely, and I'm so excited to share this collection with you. There are 6 bright neon colors in this collection. These are going to dry down kind of like semi-matte or matte, just so you guys know, and I will show that finish, I believe, in the live swatch at the end. I'm just a glossy girl, and I added top coats to all of these just because I think it just makes that much more of an impact, and so you will see them all in the glossy finish in my pictures, but at the end of my live swatch you should be able to see that they are kind of semi-matte. I have a link down below to the collection at Beyond Polish. If you shop there, use my code GOLARI10 for an even bigger discount. They are a little bit more expensive, and I did find some other polishes that are kind of close to them. So hopefully this video is helpful and the comparisons are helpful in helping you decide. I said help a lot. In helping you decide what you want. So let's get started. This first one I have is Electric Daisy, and this is a beautiful, bright... Piper, you can't go play in the creek. We're taking a break. This is a bright neon yellow with a hint of green. Can say hi. Okay, it's okay. You can play in a little bit. Want you to say hi to everybody? Here, yep, sit up there. That's perfect spot. Yep. Yep, that's a great spot for you. Yep, this is what I deal with. Okay, you really gonna lay there? You just gonna lay there? Are you comfy? You're such a weird dog. Okay. Yep. She's staying there. Okay, anyway, we're just gonna leave her there because then she won't be whining. Anyway, the formula on this one is so good, you guys. And there was a color I loved last year from China Glaze called Tropic Like It's Hot, and I loved that last summer. I wore it a couple times. I do want to say that neons do chip a little easier, and that China Glaze one did chip pretty easily. I don't get too upset about it though, but just be aware of that. You want to use a good base coat and a good top coat, but I'll be curious to see how this one holds up compared to that one because the formula is a little bit easier to work with and a little bit better than that China Glaze one, and so I'm really excited about this one. But if you got Tropic Like It's Hot, you really probably don't need this one because it's pretty close. You are going to need 3 coats to build this one up though, but that's pretty typical for a neon yellow, and compared to the ones that I have from like Orly, this is like 10 times better. So let's get into those comparisons. So here it is next to Tropic Like It's Hot, and like I said, that's almost exact. It's maybe a touch more yellow. Formula's a little bit better on Electric Daisy. Orly Glow Stick, that formula is terrible. And I've had mine for a while, same with Road Trippin', but they're really clumpy now and goopy, and you'll see I'm kind of embarrassed to even have this swatch up because they're so gross and thick. But anyway, I just wanted you to be able to see how they compared because those two are definitely more yellow. I don't even put those on anymore because the formulas are just so terrible, but I really love this one. It's so fun and so fun for summer. Like this on your toes is just cool. This was released last year, so I don't know if any of you picked that one up. They kind of re-released it, and maybe it's because it was a favorite. I'm not sure. I only picked up, I think, 1 or 2 from last year, but I did not get this one, so I'm happy to have it. This is Cushy. This is a brighter green. It is kind of a lime green. It's showing up as a cooler tone green, but it's actually pretty lime, and I think even in my picture it's going to show up even a little cooler. Like you'll probably think it's pretty close to Thirsty, which was released last year, I believe. One of the ones that I picked up, and I'll put a comparison in here. It's quite different. I actually kind of like Thirsty better, but I do like this color tone as well. It is just a little bit more lime green. And the formula on this one is fantastic too. It's going to be opaque in 2 coats. You might need 3 depending on your application, but it just goes on so nicely. I just really love their formula so much. So let's get into those comparisons. I don't have a ton of bright greens. Threw in their Plastic Jungle, and that one's more green and darker and cool toned. That is such a good polish. Beyond Polish should have that one too. Get that one, you guys. It is amazing. I loved wearing that last summer. And then Orly Neon Paradise is more yellow green, kind of like a chartreuse green. So that one's quite it different. And then D&D Green Forest. I have like 3 that are really close to this one, and this is like the darkest one I think that I have, but it's very bright and has a lot of white in it and quite a bit cooler. And so I just wanted you to see that, how it compared to those kinds of polishes. And plus I don't have a ton of these bright greens, so I'm really excited to add this one to my collection. And then we have Socialite. You guys know I love colors like this. This is like a pink that has a little bit of purple in it, and it's really bright. Like, I love to work in the yard and I love flowers and gardening, and I always go for these kind of pinky purple flowers too. It's funny, I'll pick up a bunch and I'll come home and I'm like, oh, I picked all pinky purple flowers, so I have to be really careful. But same with polish. I love this one too. I'm happy to have it in my collection. It's a little bit different than the ones that I know you're going to think of and ask me about. And the formula on this one is just so amazing. I would say it's almost a 1 coater, but it's going to build up nicely in 2. I would definitely do 2 coats. It is a stunner. I will definitely be wearing this summer. Such a cool color. Okay, so here are the comparisons. Kaleidoscope Eyes, which was my favorite polish from last year. I still love it. I still always want to wear it. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit kind of lavendery. And then Olive and June Jam Please is also bright but more purple. A splash of Grenadine I wanted to throw in there so you could see that it's softer and not as bright, and that one does have kind of a corally formula, and it does look a little mauve. But when I pulled out like Essie Pinks and stuff, there wasn't anything that was close to that, so I wanted to throw that one in there because that one's kind of closest to this color tone because it has a little bit more purple in it. Hi, babe. Oh my gosh. You know you guys like seeing Piper. You'd probably watch her rather than watch me. So there's that. It's not exact to any of those, so I'm definitely happy that I have it. It's so bright and fun. I wouldn't say it's like a super neon, but it's very, very bright. And then we have Guilty Pleasure. This is a beautiful purple. We've seen a few of these recently in other collections, but I really do like this shade. It has a little bit more red in it, so it's a little bit on that kind of warmer side, and the formula is so good. I would say it's like so close to 1 coat or maybe even 1 coat for opacity. I would definitely do 2 because it just builds it up so much nicer. It's beautiful, but it's not super original, so let's look at those comparisons. So it's pretty close to Crash the Party. That one's maybe a tiny bit more blue, just a little more cool toned. I kind of like that one a little bit better. I don't know, there's just something about that one that I like. So if you're going to choose between the 2, I'd probably choose Crash the Party, but I like them both. And then Orly's Synthetic Symphony is more blue toned, and Tangled in Love is more blue toned too, but not as blue toned as Synthetic Symphony. Those are those comparisons there. So this one is beautiful. Okay, let's get to another fun one called Pyro, and I love the name for this, you guys, because it's this great, awesome, fiery neon orange with a touch of red, and it is beautiful. I'm definitely gonna be wearing this one. It's so good. I pulled out some comparisons. There might be a China Glaze one. It's close to. I might have to look closely at my China Glaze collection. I did get rid of a ton. Anyway, it's really bright though. It's the brightest of this shade that I've ever seen, and it's even more bright than the neons that I'm going to compare it to. And I'll show those in a second. But it does have a very nice photo. I was able to get this opaque in 2 coats, which is really great. I really thought I'd have to do 3, and you might depending on how you apply it, but it's got a fantastic formula. Okay, let's look at those comparisons and I'll stop gabbing so much. So Blazing Sunset is more coral. I just pulled out like the brightest ones that I had that were pretty close to this. And then Life's a Beach is more orange but looks almost exact in the picture, but they do have a little bit of difference. It's really hard to take a picture of oranges and get the true color. And then Orly Artificial Orange is more of kind of a neon peach, and I thought I'd get asked about that one. So I love this. I'm so happy to have it, and I'm definitely going to be wearing it this summer. And then there's this beautiful bright blue called Sky High. Beautiful. I don't wear a ton of blues. Maybe I'll reach for it. We'll see. But it's really nice. This was the one that maybe had like the thinnest formula. So it's a little bit curly-ish. But it does build up nicely still in 2 coats, just so you're aware. So the formula is a little bit different than the other ones. And it's a lovely shade of blue. I think a lot of you are really going to like this one too. This whole collection is really great. Okay, let's get in those comparisons. So Juicy Details is the closest. It's maybe slightly warmer. I will say that one is quite a stainer though. I've only worn it maybe like once, but it is quite a stainer, and even when I take it off I can tell that it's a stainer. So maybe this is a better option if you really like Juicy Details but don't want to deal with the staining. And then Feeling Amped is a little bit darker and kind of looks navy compared to these. And then Butler Please, I thought I would get asked. That one's more kind of purpley tone. I definitely like this one the best out of all of them. So I I love it. I just don't know if I'll wear blue too often. Okay, I'm gonna pick my favorites, and I'm really excited to do it this time because there's a lot of them. I'm gonna pick these four just because we've seen that purple before. Piper, you are really making this cramped. Look at those. Those are fun. I need to do some kind of nail design with these. It's been a while since I've done a nail design, but I like all of these. So the red, Pyro, Socialite, which is the purple, Electric Daisy, which is the kind of yellow green, and the green, which is Cushy, and those are my favorites. Love them. So what are your thoughts on this collection? Do you think you're gonna pick any up? Let me know. I'm just excited to add this to my review lineup. So hopefully you're excited about that too. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye. Just find yourself a cozy place. Huh? You're so cute. I love you.